Hey, this is Dr. Havey with the Health and Wellness Institute. So if you have considered becoming a vegetarian, one of the most often asked questions is, where do I get my protein? And will I be getting enough protein? Well, let me just tell you, you can rest assured that you will get plenty of protein if you are eating enough calories. In fact, it's difficult not to get enough protein, and I'd like to show you why. So take a look at this video, and if you have any questions, please email and I will personally respond. Thanks so much for watching.
What may be the most common question for a vegetarian: where do you get your protein? Trust me when I tell you, adequate protein is not an issue. Allow me to explain. In the 1800s, a scientist by the name of Carl Voigt found that man needed only 48.5 grams of protein per day, yet he recommended 118 grams. Why? A cultural bias. See, because protein was believed at the time to only come from meat, this cultural bias developed. That is, if you are civilized and higher class, then you eat meat, and lots of it at that. And so this cultural bias has put us on a very misleading and unhealthy path, that meat is the only way to get protein, that meat is good for us, and therefore more of it must be even better. Not only that, but we have been led to believe that the best and only way to get protein is from animal foods, truly the most common reason that most people don't even consider being a vegetarian. But this is where you will be pleasantly surprised. First, the recommendations for how much protein you actually need are often exaggerated. For instance, it is common to see, read, or hear that 10 to 20% of our calories should come from protein. Even the recommended daily allowance, or the RDA, is only approximately 10%, and even that number is cautiously high to be sure every person gets enough. Yet only 5 to 6% dietary protein is required to replace what our bodies excrete. Secondly, the amount of protein you get from eating a plant-based diet is more than sufficient. Just look at how much protein comes with some of these foods that you are probably familiar with. Almonds, 10 grams per 3 ounces. A banana has more than a gram. If you look down at rice, you will see 5 grams per cup. Or even beans have almost 10 grams for every half cup on average. And even whole wheat bread has 5 grams for every 2 slices. So you can see there's plenty of protein in many of these plant-based foods. And finally, when you consume such plant-based foods as those, not only will you get protein, but you get a plethora of vitamins and minerals and nutrients for your good health. Meat and dairy foods, however, do not contain anywhere near the same variety of healthy nutrients. With so many concerns and more coming out every day about the negative effects of meat and dairy on our health, you have to ask yourself, why do we consume so much and are told we need more than we actually do? Well, one major reason is conditioning. See, the meat and dairy industries have convinced us through clever marketing that consuming more of their products is what makes us healthier. And we probably have been eating meats and drinking milk all our lives without giving it a second thought. In reality, there are more health reasons to avoid animal-derived foods than you will ever find positive ones to consume them. Even though animal-based proteins may be touted as the best source because they are the closest to replacement proteins that we need, we can derive all the essential amino acids from the natural variety of plant protein sources that we encounter every day, those amino acids being the building blocks of proteins. Even though animal-derived proteins do most closely match our body's own proteins, they also have the highest number of statistically significant correlations to our most common illnesses and diseases. I ask you to read that again because this is very important, that animal-derived foods have the highest number of statistically significant correlations to our most common illnesses and diseases. And when I say our most common illnesses and diseases, I mean pretty much every one that we see on a daily basis. And that, my friend, is the number one motivating reason that should get you moving toward a vegetarian diet. Look, I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't eat. I realize you may enjoy eating steak or a grilled burger, and while maybe you just wanted to know that you can get enough proteins from plant foods, I think it's important for you to be aware of how big of an impact eating animal-based foods has on your health. One last thing to remember, even an uneducated vegetarian on average will get only a little bit less protein than a non-vegetarian. For more information, you can check out some of the other videos and you can see those facts and details that will explain that. So here's the conclusion. Not only are there enough proteins in plant-based foods, those are also the best foods for your good health. See, you are one of many people who are waking up to the truth about how important it is to cut back on and even eliminate meat and dairy foods and eat more plant-based foods instead for your own optimal health, wellness, and prevention of sickness and disease. Here's what I'd like to send you. First, the latest research that shows you the most significant correlations between diet and disease. Secondly, the HWi Health Report, 10 Life-Saving Reasons to Avoid Meat and Dairy, which is certain to be an eye-opener for you. And lastly, as a bonus, a list of 25 healthiest everyday foods. These are 25 everyday foods that you will want to make part of your diet because of their nutritional content as well as their balance of nutrients. Just visit hwii.org, submit your info, and all of that information will be sent to you, and it will help you get on the path to optimal health. I'm Dr. Havey. Thanks for watching.